guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid review. Athletic Club Bilbao nil, Real Madrid 2. 3 points is in the bag. Nothing that we can really complain about in terms of the result. Obviously, a clean sheet, 2 goals scored away from home, 3 points. It's all you could really want for and wish for. Performance wise, it wasn't the best performance. It wasn't that poor performance. Um, Not too much negatives in this one today. Overall, I thought we played quite well. Yes, Athletic Club Bilbao showed that in certain moments and certain times they could do or produce something. However, I don't think they were going to score 2 goals to maybe tie the game or maybe even get a goal. Maybe their goal that they scored would have changed the dynamic of the game, but it was good for offside. Agree, disagree, it's opinions. Um, but it was good for offside, and maybe it isn't offside. But overall, except for that chance, can you realistically tell me another chance that should have really gone in? Maybe. Maybe. We'll get into some of the chances later on. But to talk about the overall of the game, I thought we played quite well. Um, but again, Atletico Bilbao will not be a relegation battling team. They will be the mid tables. They will be in that 10th to 15th area. Maybe they can push for high. Maybe they could go down to 16th or 17th. But they are one of the teams who aren't going to fight for top 4. Maybe they could go for top 8, top 9. But realistically, they are 10th. They are 11th side. So they are the stronger side. And we have seen with Real Madrid when they tend to play, I don't mean to be rude, but weaker sides, they played quite well. Valladolid, Cacereno. But when you play against the Villarreals, the Barcelonas, and we have got Atletico coming up, are we going to be able to replicate this performance? That is the issue. The issue now is when we play the big teams. Remember, in just under a month, we've got Liverpool. Right, Liverpool could be struggling in the Premier League, but their focus could be on the Champions League. Their focus could be going to the final or winning the Champions League. And Liverpool are a really, really good side, whether they're doing well or not in the Premier League, right? You know that whether they are doing well in the Premier League right now, they are going to be a tough side to take on. So we've got that coming up, but let's not talk about February. Let's talk about the end of January. Atletico in the Copa del Rey, or Copa de España quarterfinals. How are we gonna cope? That is question number one. How are we going to cope against Atletico? Now, if we do perform well and we get the result, I will hold my hands up and I will say, you know what, fair enough. We are actually a really, really good team. We're getting back into it. But what if we don't beat them? What if we lose? We'll be sat here going, I'm not surprised, but it was a poor performance. I have been saying that for Villarreal and Barcelona now in the last few reviews. I don't really want to say it again. But if it happens, it happens. It's not surprising. Like I said, anything with Real Madrid losing now, it's not surprising. It's disappointing. It's not surprising. But yeah, like I said, Athletic Club Bilbao, more of a mid-table side, we can do well against. Let's see against Atletico. But the first goal was scored by Kareem the Dream. What a goal! The volley, the sweet volley, really, really good goal. It was all made from Valverde's floating cross. That was a good cross, by the way. Really good cross in. It's not a typical normal crossing. It had a bit of wind. You kind of win on something, but it almost like the wind directed the pass into the box. Almost. Not that floating ball. You get what I'm trying to say here? Almost like it's a bit windy. Kick a ball and it curves into the box. I don't know if it was headed by Asensio on the defender, but it falls to Benzema, who volleys it beyond Unai Simon. And the second goal was got in the last minute of the game, technically. Rodrigo pulling it back for Cruz. First time curling effort beats Unai Simon. There is also a very very good goal because it almost looked like he was going to continue his run. The ball came to him a bit unexpectedly. He was gonna fall. He was gonna continue making the run, but he suddenly stopped and then took the shot and somehow scored. I don't know how Cruz pulls that off, and I've been seeing a bit of rumor that maybe Modric, maybe Cruz might retire or go to Al Nassr, respectively. If Modric leaves to Al Nassr and Cruz retires, that would be huge. As much as that would allow the opportunity to bring in a Bellingham, maybe an Enzo Fernandez, that would be a huge blow. Because at their age, 37, 32 respectively, they are doing beats for us. They're doing things that I don't think not many 25-year-olds in the world at their position could do. So losing these two legends, and eventually, whether it's retiring, whether it's leaving to Al Nassr or the MLS or wherever, they will stop playing. There will be a time when they stop playing and retire or leave. So my problem is, how are we going to replace these two legends who have been dominating this midfield and just midfield in general for the last decade? How are we going to replace them? Because clearly Tchouaméni is more of a number 6. Is Valverde going to be that player? He's a different profile. He's more of that energy, the pace. Is Camavinga going to do that? I think Camavinga is more of that Cruz replacement. But who is going to be a Modric replacement? Could it be Jude Bellingham? I would love Jude Bellingham. I think Bellingham, Camavinga, and Tchouaméni will be a sick trio. But where does Valverde go then? Because I don't think with that stats and the profile player he is, I don't think he suits a centre mid. I genuinely don't. So it'll be very interesting to see how and what we do in the future. Obviously, we really want to see Bellingham sign because he would change the dynamic. But is getting a striker in the summer more important? I would argue getting a striker in January is more important than getting Jude Bellingham, because Benzema isn't going to play every game. He'll be rested. Who are we going to rely on then as our second option? Who knows? But yeah, that's that. And then let's talk about some chances. Courtois being forced into an early save after just 10 minutes to deny Paredes' header. And then we had a good chance here. Second half, near the hour mark, Vinny Jr. sending a cross in to the box, headed out by the defender, only as far as Benzema though. Only as far as Benzema. Pulls it back for Nacho. First time shot, or the first shot attempt, blocked. Second shot, which was rebounded back to him, punched away by Unai Simon. This was a good chance as well. Fede Valverde pulling it back for Benzema, who slid Asensio through by his right-footed attempt went just wide off the post. And like I said, Athletic Club Bilbao actually had a goal from the corner. Yuri Bachiche's volley is denied by Courtois, but the ball falls straight to Inaki Williams, who scores, but the flag is up for offside. Whether you think it's off or on, it's not going to change anything. We've been saying this for a long time, and whether it's, I've been saying it for both the Real Madrid team and the opponent. Whether the goal is on or off, or whether you think it's on or off, debating and arguing with someone else doesn't change the outcome of the match and the goal. It will only make the person you're arguing with more satisfied, because they're like, I don't care. So if Athletic Club Bilbao fans want to argue about it, if they do want to do that, it wouldn't make any sense, because I don't think many Real Madrid fans will be bothered about that. The win's the win, the goal's the goal, right? And overall, I actually don't care. I genuinely think Real Madrid fans don't care what other fans say about our goals. You know, your typical Twitter fans who are just sitting behind their keyboard, the keyboard warriors. It's easy to type things out, but do those people dare to say, while like recording themselves and or going out and saying it, do they dare to do that? I'm not too sure. Sitting behind a keyboard and saying things like that doesn't help anything. In fact, it just makes the person you're arguing with, or the group of people you're arguing with, be more happy and satisfied. But like I said at the start, it's a good win. It's a win that we much needed, because if we had drawn or lost this game, we will be 4 points or 6 points behind Barcelona. We're still 3 points behind them, but at least we know that we are capable of getting and maybe keeping up with Barcelona at the moment. So this win is massive, but there's definitely things that can be improved on, for sure. I'm not saying this is the best I've seen from Real Madrid this season. There's things to be worked on, but it's slowly getting better, hopefully. But hope you guys have enjoyed today's review. Hit the like button if you subscribe to the channel if it's on already, and